wanted to talk about LinkedIn and Facebook ad targeting. I think this is more of a you topic because I'm not very good with.
Yeah, there were some questions people ask if we can talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, when it comes to Facebook advertising, like the targeting, especially, we need to. From what I'm seeing, working is like not going very broad. B2B means that you are going after the decision maker, CEOs in one way, and in another way you can go and target people who will actually use the software or the app, if that's the question. But how I see it, one thing that's working the best is going after the roles in the company, not going after interest. So like the CEOs, CMOs, COOs, it all depends who are you targeting. Yeah. Those kind of people, and going with ads there, like more like news, something that is consumable. Mm-hmm. And the best size of the audience that works is like from anything from 30,000 up to 120,000, something like that. That's something that's not very, very broad, but it still have enough people that you can work with. Mm-hmm. And in some cases, you can narrow it down based on some of the interest. It just goes a long way, and it works great. I mean, people are going after using retargeting mostly, mm-hmm. because retargeting is cheap. But in my opinion, like Facebook ads are really cheap, and when they're really cheap, you can go after targeting like the broader audience than just the ones who are visiting your website.
Yeah, we've been running. I think the only like Facebook ad campaign that we're running a retargeting campaign for one of our clients who has like a community for agency owners. Like he sold an agency, now he's coaching other agency owners. We have a community. Mm-hmm. It's really good. And we are running a quick retarget. It's very like small budget. Like we're playing, I think, with like $300 a month. It's more of like to test things up. And I offered to do it myself because I wanted to like try as well. So he was like, I don't care how it performs. If you want to try, here's $300 and you can learn on my money. And I was like, sure. Yeah, let's do it. And we run a retargeting campaign that was pretty solid. It just, we didn't have enough. I'm letting somebody in the. Mm-hmm. We didn't have enough, like a broad range of people to go and retarget. So we were retargeting everyone that had read an article or visited the website.
That's cool. If you want to go specific, that can work well. And if you have traffic on those pages, like you can go after specific people depending on the topic.
Yeah. So we had traffic. We just didn't have enough to like run a big retargeting campaign through that. Because everything had been organic so until that point, and the numbers looked really good. Like we were retargeting. I think we needed a 1% like close rate from the email list to break even, and we usually average like 10 to 15%. So it was clear that campaign was going to do well if we were able to do it at a larger scale. Then we tested a lookalike, and the lookalike performed really well in terms of like cost per click. I think really well. You might tell me that that's wrong, but it was like at 40 cents per click, which I think is pretty solid.
Yeah, that's cool.
The problem was then we were driving them to like a landing page for email opt-in, and that didn't perform well. So like the landing page didn't perform well, but the cost per click.
Yeah, I had the same situation last, I don't know what was, May. We did a campaign. I mean, we are regularly doing the campaign for the accelerator, mm-hmm. basically inviting people, startups, founders to get in. Yeah. And this time I went deep into analyzing. I mean, first 3 times we had great results. We had more than 50 signups each time. I mean, it's Serbia, Balkans, so there are not that many startups.
Right.
So some of them are even not startups, but they think they are, but it doesn't matter. And I mean, most of it are quality leads. And this time we had enough signups, but from what I'm seeing, it wasn't enough based on the people who came to the landing page. So we had a huge gap over there, and for the first time I saw like we need to change the landing page. What you said, it's important to analyze everything, each step, and see where people are dropping off.
Right, because the other issue, and you're more expert of this than I am, but I was thinking maybe it's not just the landing page, it's the quality of the traffic that we're driving there. You know, like, because with the lookalike, I'm hoping the lookalikes right, but I don't know how to see what we're actually going after. You know what I mean? It's a bit confusing.
It's usually it's the right audience. If I mean, it all depends what was the sample that was used to create the lookalike audience. If the sample were great, usually it's great. Basically, Facebook works like that. If you go after traffic campaign, he will get people who are already clicking and going to the website. If you're going after conversion, he will find people who have already filled out the forms before.
Right.
Basically, that's and people are making mistakes when they are like using one campaign, trying to do 2 or 3 different things in one campaign. You just need to get to one and go with it.
Makes sense. How do you decide? I'm guessing most of the stuff you're running in terms of advertisement is on Facebook, but like, when do you ever like propose, I think they should be run on LinkedIn versus Facebook?
It all depends. I'm looking at the budget. I think they need to have a bigger budget to get back the costs.
Right. What's the budget?
Because the costs are much larger. I don't know, like I didn't try it, so it's all based on what I'm reading and what I'm seeing. So I can just say from that perspective. But from what I'm seeing, if you don't have like revenue that's going like over 10K or something like that, there's no use to doing it.
Yeah, I asked what's his name, Chris Walker, the other day, like what's the average cost per mile, CPM on LinkedIn, and I don't want to get this wrong, but he mentioned, let me check. I asked him for a ballpark, and I said there's a lot of things, like there's a lot of different factors that can like drive that up and down, but do you have a ballpark for CPM on LinkedIn? And he said a minimum of $60 per CPM, and usually between $80 and $120 for 1,000 views. And I was like, you definitely need, one, a larger budget, and two, a service or a product that is higher ticket, right? Because otherwise it's not going to make sense.
And it's also important what you are doing over there. I saw some ads, and most of them are just using the copy, which is the same as the start of the blog, if they are promoting the blog. Or
if you're paying $80 for 1,000 views, motherfucker, write good copy. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, write at least a custom one.
Right. Yeah. But like, that's something that like brands need to like understand. Like, for example, in terms of distribution, right? Distributing an article that you've written, like LinkedIn's probably not the place for that at that CPM.
Yeah, I think probably the case study would be the best thing over there, or maybe something that's created like just like the news, something that's consumable but can give you exactly the right information that you need.
Exactly. Yeah, and maybe like for a retargeting of like like you have an email list, you can upload it, create a custom list, and then you're retargeting them with something lower in the funnel. But it seems like for cold awareness, obviously depending on the product you're selling and the ticket, but $80 to $100 of CPMs, it's going to be tough to make the numbers work. But I asked that question to Chris because we were reporting our work to a client, and I believe we were working with him on LinkedIn, creating content there. And in the first month of working together, we generated, I believe it was over 55,000 views, right, on his LinkedIn content, which is pretty solid for the first month without having a big audience and all that. And like one of the things that I was thinking is like, how much would this be worth if we were to like if he had spent it on LinkedIn ads to reach the same number of people, how much that would have been worth for him, right? So I asked Chris like, how much it was, because I think that's a good way to also like represent how like that they're getting a good value on awareness. Like they would be paying much more if they were doing LinkedIn ads, right? So for 55,000 impressions at, let's just say the 80,000, the $80 cost per mile, that's $4,500, which is a few times more than what they're paying us. So it's like, that's a good way for like to show the value of organic reach, you know, like to show, obviously you cannot scale it as hard as you could with LinkedIn ads, but you're getting a great value for awareness with organic.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to figure out in the last months. I mean, how long does it take to actually get the return of investment that you are doing for the ads, preferably like Facebook ads, and usually it's like 100 days or something, or something like that. It all depends, but I mean, it seems logical because when you hire somebody who is working in sales, I mean, you don't expect him to give you results right away. But when it comes to marketing, they expect you to be a magician and to work something right away. I mean, I don't know if you have noticed, but
for sure,
marketing became so much harder than sales in the recent half a year or something like that. It's much more complex, and it became harder because people are expecting something that usually they won't expect if it's not marketing.
Yeah, today I had a conversation with a prospect. I was on a sales call, and he mentioned, so like one of the things we do is like we do a month-to-month contract. So we don't do long-term contracts.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to change that. But like especially at the beginning, I was like, let's do month-to-month.
Yeah, so you can like show the value and
like we're just confident that like we're gonna over deliver so much in that first early months that like you're not gonna want to like leave anyway. And it's a good like differentiator. I've seen a few larger agencies that do month to month, and I just feel it aligns more with like who I am of like proving it every single day. But from business perspective, we should do long-term contracts for sure. But
yeah, it all depends what you are doing, right? If you can do it in that way.
Yeah, I think 3 to 6 month contract is what we should be start implementing moving forward. Just like content marketing takes time, and we like for us as a business, it will also give us like a bit more of like peace, you know, like peace of mind. But anyway, I was talking to this guy, and he said, yeah, I love to sign for the first month, and if it's the secret potion for getting clients, then I'll like we'll keep working together. And I was like, let me stop you right there. It's not the secret potion.
Yeah.
There's no secret potion. You know, like there's no such thing as we're gonna get you clients for sure in the first 20 days. Like there's no way. Like I don't want you to sign thinking that, because you're gonna leave the first month, and it's a pain in the ass for you and for me to like get you here for 1 month. So like it's like you're saying, you cannot expect. If it was so easy, dude, I would not be here with you talking. You know, like
exactly.
I'd be on a yacht with a airplane and 25 models, but I'm not there because there's no secret. So like it takes time.
Yeah, I have those kind of situations like at least once a month. Like somebody calls, usually those are referrals. People who are I don't know, friends or somebody that that know few of our clients.
Yeah.
And so they ask them, like, those are mostly successful companies, and people who are coming are not successful companies. So they're mostly like entrepreneurs who are working on their own, or a small company or something like that, and they expect us to deliver for the cost that we are charging, you know. But it's not based on the short-term agreement, and you cannot expect me to give you results for a month when you didn't do anything for 2 years. Like it won't happen.
But it's funny how it's always companies that are not like doing well or that are not as successful that have that mindset. Like great companies don't expect you to deliver right away. You know, like people who are going to be great clients, they understand that it's a process. But like companies that are struggling, that they have a bad culture, they're like the ones that either you deliver right away or we go. And I'm like, just go. Don't even come in.
Exactly.
But it's I think because there's a lot of more pressure in them. Right? Like companies that are doing well already, like they don't have that immediate need of like either we close to clients or we die as a company. But there's other people, and it happens everywhere. Like I've had a few leads from Spain, and I don't want to say anything bad against the Spanish startup system, but like the culture is so much different. Like I'm not going to be able to help you, and we're going to get mad.
I can say like the Serbians who are living in US are the worst clients ever.
The worst
that's proven.
Yeah. That's funny, dude. Yeah, I bet they are. It's funny because I think I only know one or two Spanish guys that live in America and work in that field. One of them randomly runs the same company as I do. So he works with like B2B CEOs doing their personal brand. They do a bit of different, like they have a more of like an automated system, but it's funny how like he's from Barcelona as well. The other guy from Barcelona that I know is my competitor, like 100%. And the other guy has a great podcast for startups. They both live in New York, but it's interesting. Have you seen a lot of people from like Serbia and those countries living in the United States and running businesses as well?
Yeah, I've been working with some of them.
You've been working with some of them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, like majority of them that we are working now or have worked in the last 2 years are great at what they do.
Right.
But they go over there and they want to look at you as somebody who is a low-paying professional who will deliver exactly the results as the people from US will deliver.
Right.
I mean, it's okay if it comes from somebody who is I don't know, a US citizen or somebody who doesn't know how it is here. No, that's why they are and they expect you like everything that they wouldn't do if they are here.
Right. And I'm sure they treat you wrong as well. I'm like, dude, you're one of us, right? Like,
yeah.
But just because you live in America doesn't make you like better or makes you like I understand what you mean in terms of like thinking that just because you're not based in the United States, you don't have to charge the what you're worth and that you're going to deliver the same thing. So
yeah. So one thing that I wanted to go through because I'm seeing it and it's really ridiculous. Hashtags and trending on LinkedIn. I guess that you are also having like, maybe not every post, but every second post as trending over there. Because you are regular in creative content and you are doing it kind of the same way I'm doing. Maybe the methods are different, but it's narrow. You know who are talking about. You are talking about specific things. And from what I see, it's all that it takes to be trending.
Yeah.
And it's usually in two, at least two, sometimes three hashtags. Because I'm following some of the things on my company page. So each week I'm trending over there with two hashtags.
Yeah.
And on the third one, I'm receiving notification on my personal profile. And I mean, it doesn't give you anything. Maybe it informs people that you are trending. I don't know if that's happening at all. I never received anything that somebody is trending.
I receive it like once a week, maybe.
Yeah, maybe something like that. For me, it's more. It's when somebody is in the news or something like that.
Yeah.
But from what I'm seeing is that Facebook, LinkedIn is just trying to get the attention of us, like going to post more, to do more similar things, to basically inspire us to do more.
100%. I think it's just like a little gift that LinkedIn gives you, of like an incentive, you know, like when dogs do bad and like they spray water on their face and they do good and like they give them like a candy. Like I think that's the candy. It's like just a feel good. I think it's funny when like people post, I've been trending on LinkedIn for this hashtag today, whatever. I'm like, so what? Like,
I mean, it's cool. You know, I'm using it to when I start working with clients.
Yeah.
And I need them to be persistent in posting, in commenting,
we do this as well.
over there.
We tell them.
Then when I see them trending, they get that as a motivation.
Yeah, we do the same thing. Yeah, for sure. It's a good. We keep track of it. We say, this month you trended on this hashtag 6 times, and this hashtag 4 times. Just like, you know, why not? Right? There's nothing to lose when you're reporting.
Yeah.
But I don't think, honestly, the only thing that has come out of that, in my opinion, has been one person who reached out to me saying that he saw my post
trending
on a hashtag. So he sent a connection invite and he has to interview me for a thing.
Yeah. Hi, Alexandra.
But that's the only time that trending on LinkedIn has created any effect.
Yeah, and also one thing I think it's not happening is people actually searching using hashtags. I don't think anybody is doing that.
I think I have a few hashtags liked, and from time to time a post from that hashtag comes up on my feed. But
from that perspective of consuming, it's okay.
Yeah, but like I'm barely ever on my feed. I'm always like on the Sales Navigator alerts homepage. So I think it's what you said. It's a treat for people who are creating content to keep doing that, because LinkedIn has a deficiency of good content. Right? Like I'd say 85 to 90% of the content on LinkedIn is people sharing articles, but not articles that they've written, like articles from the news.
Or also something like motivational bullshit, trying to be thought leaders.
Yeah, but
those kind of things.
Even that, I think that's only like 10% of the content. Like, I think content that is actually like somebody fucking writing stuff is like 10%. The rest is like sharing an article that they've seen somewhere, and all that's trash.
Yeah, maybe even less than 10% is the people who are active. That also goes to LinkedIn ads. You know, you have to be careful who you're targeting, because 90% of the people are not active. They might see the message in like 3 months.
Right.
That's also the downside.
Yeah. I think overall, LinkedIn is an amazing platform, in my opinion. Like it's created a lot of good for our business, but there are some things that like they're just not there yet.
Yeah, I think in the next period also company pages will get better. I can see it going towards there, because right now from the last, I don't know, from 5 days ago, I can see actually the people who like the page.
Oh, really?
Couldn't do that before. Yeah, it's as a link, like that amount of followers. You click there and you can see people who actually like the page. I don't know if everybody has it. From what I've seen in the post that I posted, not everybody has it. But that actually means that we are going somewhere.
Yeah. I for now, I hate company pages. Like I haven't used it. And I've been thinking about using that, because I have a lot of content to put out, like a lot of, especially video content from the podcast. But honestly, I'd rather put it out on the profile of my teammate than the company page right now, because it's going to get more views and more business.
Yeah, one thing that I'm seeing working, like, let me use an example. We're doing like Impact Hub Belgrade company page, and we have a lot of events over there, a lot of stuff going on with startups, investments, those kind of topics.
Yeah.
And that means that we have speakers each week, somebody else. And when we put a picture of a person, just with some artwork or no artwork or a quote with person, it explodes. Like we are tagging the person because they are reacting, then people who are following that person are reacting. And also what can work for you, and I'm want to try it also in the next period, is that like you and me are recording, and I'm cutting out the pieces that is you talking, not me, and putting that on my page and tagging you over there using quotes that you said, also as the other guests, you know, those kind of things, when you are actually using it in a different way.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because otherwise, like, the page is almost dead. Like we've done it for a few clients, and like growing that page is hard. You know, like when you grow your personal profile, you can send connections and get all that, but with a company page, it's a limited number of invites that you get every month. But yeah, I think LinkedIn is going to grow as a platform. I've seen Twitter evolve as a platform lately. There's now audio tweets. You know, I don't know how you call it. There's a couple other things that they're doing. Like you can schedule tweets on the site as well. So, like, I mean, the competition between platforms, like with TikTok coming up, I think it's going to have to speed things up for other platforms to like advance, right?
Yeah. We talked about that for Twitter for years, but they are not moving it. So we'll see. I want to try something, and it's like distributing articles, but as a thread.
Oh, that's perfect.
And not delivering the link until the last one.
The last one, yeah, we've done it for a few clients. It's great.
Yeah, that's what I want to do in the next period.
For us on Twitter, something that we're considering, and we do this for a few clients, is to over-index on threads, because I think threads are like a differentiator, because there's very little things you can say in 280 characters. But with a thread, you can actually go in depth, get the nuance, and if you're going for a quality following, I think over-indexing on threads on Twitter is the way to like create longer form content and do that, right? Like, so repurposing the articles into threads, the link at the end, that can work. even repurposing some LinkedIn post into a thread can work. The connection between LinkedIn and Twitter is very easily repurposable. And it's something that we're starting to do more of, and I think people should, and I've seen a few people do that as well. Like content that it can go to both platforms. And these are
but we are also
you need for us B2B.
What we are also doing, and it seems to working. We were just trying it out. Is like retweeting something with a comment, and then taking the discussion to our event, like basically from that thread. And I wanna see if it's possible to create like once in a month chat, like it was a few years ago. I want to see if that's possible to do now again. So I'm gonna try that also.
Yeah. Those Twitter chats are great as well. But yeah, I think Twitter is very underrated as a platform. We just want to deal with one of the startup companies that I was mentioning. Who they've been following me on Twitter for, I'm not joking, but like 11 months. I think this will be like the 12th month. And we had been chatting, but we never found to like take the next step. And this is something we can touch next week on, like how content is the best way to like keep prospects engaged along the sales cycle and reactivating all leads, both in terms of engaging and staying top of mind with like content creation. So like they saw a tweet, they would like it. Then we would chat in the comment. I'd saw one of their tweets, I would comment on that. And like 10 months later, after we started following each other, that's when he reached out and was like, I think we should have a conversation. I was like, yeah, well, I've been waiting for this for 10 months. And
yeah.
And then we started chatting, and like we closed them in like 2 calls, right? Like super easy, super. It felt like we knew each other for years because we did.
Super cool.
So like,
yeah, I mean, you've been there for a while. You've been interacting.
Yeah, I've worked for this deal. This is the deal I've worked for the most because, but I haven't, right? I just engaged with them and created good content and have them engage with me. So
exactly.
So that this is the great thing that.
Right. Last week also, when it comes to like those kind of things, I took like I think 4 hours this weekend to send around 1,500 messages on LinkedIn to the people that I have never exchanged the message with. Maybe in the comments, but not in the DM.
Right.
And just like to say, hi, can we finally like do an informal chat, or for somebody that I didn't even have exchange of thoughts in comments. Yeah. I'm just going like, this is me. I do that and that. Here is the one piece of content that if I don't want to bother you much about what we do, but if I have to show you one piece of content, this is the one. Please tell me more about you, because I've already seen the profiles of those people. Right. So I told them, I've seen your profile. I know what you're doing, but it was probably like 2 or 3 months ago when we connected. So I want you to tell me exactly what you're doing right now to get into in deep, because some people also have the NDAs. They cannot share everything on the public on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And this is where it becomes interesting. You get the feedback for your posts, for things that you're doing. You see some people and you realize how long are they following you, not like the month that you think, but also months before that. Yeah. You get recommendations from people, because I mean, you now are going personal with them. And also if in time they need somebody to do marketing for them and those kind of services, well, maybe you will pop up because you keep on creating content and you are always there. But now it became personal.
Right. I love that. And that's the beauty of it, because it helps tremendously from from a business sales process, from a sales process standpoint as well, like usually like sales cycles in our industry are very long, but like when people come to you already knowing who you are and consuming a bit of content of yours, like the sales cycle is much shorter. Right? Like we've had 2 clients in the last 3 months, 2 months sign up after like, 3 clients in the last 3 months sign up in the intro call. You know, like they consume a piece of content, they reach out, like we schedule a meeting, we do the 25 minute like discovery meeting, and like they signed right there. And that's crazy for us because like it's so easy. Like for business, it helps tremendously when you're not doing a 1.5 months sales process to sign a client. It takes 30 minutes. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. Every single client that I signed was through the after the intro call,
right?
Or they came right away, just skipping the intro call. It all depends. Basically, let me tell you something right now. So we had Lior Barak here on the call in one of the first B2B weeklies.
Yeah.
So he released the new product and he scheduled the call. He wanted us to see if we can work together. So on Friday we are having a call and maybe we'll work something together. So like B2B Weekly is actually doing the job.
Yeah, perfect. That's great. I mean, that's what we do it for, right? So that's awesome to hear. One of the things go ahead, sorry, Nemanja.
Yeah, I wanted to go to that topic that you wanted to talk about. It's actually interesting to me as well.
Yeah, so this is what I was going to as well. So I've been seeing this debate a lot on Twitter, and I wanted to hear your thoughts on when you're building your personal brand, especially in B2B, but really your personal brand in any area, and you're creating content and you're like niching down. There's a lot to be said about niching down to the point that you're known as the something guy or girl, right? Like the B2B in Serbia guy could be you. Like if I think B2B Serbia, I think of you. There's the debate of whether that's what the objective should be, that you're niche down so specifically and so to the detail that helps you grow a small but very targeted audience, and that you can only create content around that topic to be known as that person, or you should open up more areas of your life and not be known just as the something guy, but as Nemanja who does B2B, but also he does this and does that and does whatever. So the question is, and I know I'm rambling a little, but should you niche down to the smallest detail and only focus on that? Or should you open up and go for a broader audience and lose some of the targeting, but allow you to grow as a human being as well, to not get stuck in one thing and to be able to evolve as the time goes on?
I'm going for going niche and going narrow because I've done it. Right. I've been through it, and every single time I go wider, I get the audience and people who doesn't really understand what do I do. Right. They are just here because I'm speaking at the specific topic. Also, is when I post in Serbian. I do this kind of post in Serbian when I have a need to like say something, because you can get more people attached to those topics because they are like familiar to more people. But those people are not of any use for me when it comes to like maybe becoming my client or me working with them or anything like that. But it can be useful because at some time they might talk to somebody who needs marketing, or they can go and be entrepreneurs or something like that, and they would have a need. So from that perspective, there's a possibility of doing that. But going niche and going after specific things that it's triggering people reactions, so getting them out of the comfort zone. It's something that is polarizing people and then bringing you to the top with everything that you are talking about. Right now is like the MQLs, SQLs topic, going after revenue operations, so changing the whole narrative, the whole focus, and the whole mindset. It's something that people can be easily triggered about, because so many times B2B, I mean, you know how it is, the whole industry sterile basically, and nobody tries to do anything new. Most of the companies doesn't even have a business development or sales teams, especially like if they are software companies. They just have a guy, the owner, who knows somebody who is getting them projects, at least how it is here in the surroundings. Others are just going outbound, going after leads, and basically focusing everything on sales. And when you try to give them different perspective, it's totally different. And you cannot go here like, okay, I know that outbound can work for some companies, and I know everything is working. It just depends on how much you want to pay for it, how much time do you have. And I cannot say in my post there that something else is working, because then I would be as everybody else. Everything is working. Like, I can say this thing is working the best right now, and that's it. You know, that's how you polarize people.
Yeah, I think I mostly agree with you. I think niche down, especially at the beginning. At the beginning, I think you need to niche down, because nobody really cares about your life, right? So like, there's very few people that we care of the whole areas of their life. And those people are extremely charismatic, like they're special, they've done something, they're already on top. But like, for the vast majority of people, we care about like what they can do for us, and that's the one thing. Like, I can help you with B2B content and personal branding. Like, that's my area of expertise. However, I do think that while you're niche down, you can and should show your personality and show life stories that don't just relate. Like, you're not supposed to be an encyclopedia of B2B. You're supposed to be a human being who knows all about this. And then once your audience starts to grow, I think you can expand a little bit more. But even before then, I do think there's areas that can be connected, right? And I could talk about this for hours, but like, I love basketball. Like, sometimes I talk about basketball in relation to like B2B and personal branding. I don't talk about basketball like the New York Knicks suck, but I talk about like how a story for this area of my life has helped me on this area of your life that you care for.
Yeah, you were using some great synonyms.
Yeah.
In the post.
Yeah. So I do think like that is, if you can connect them, like, I love hip hop music, and I'm starting to like write songs about, like, on Saturday nights when I'm not going out, I write like rap music and I record it with a mic and whatever. If I started posting about that, my audience that are B2B CEOs, they would be like, what the hell are you doing? Right? Like, I don't care about that. I care about how to grow my personal brand. But if I can connect, in hip hop, there's something called like the 4-bar rule. So for every 4 lines that you say, there has to be a gift for your audience. So like a metaphor or an analogy or like a pun or something that like makes the audience happy. If I connect that to copywriting and B2B content and say every 4 lines in B2B content, you have to give something, then I'm opening up an area of my life and introducing it to what you care. So I think that's a good way to like introduce other areas and make them part of your story. I think the story is very important. And then finally, on that note, I think opening up more areas makes more loyalty to it might make for a smaller audience, but the people who care for that are going to be much more connected for you. Like you and I, like we're both in B2B, but there's 1,000 people in B2B. Why are we like connected more than with other strangers? Part of it is because of basketball. right? So like us opening up other areas has helped us connect more loyalty and now do shows together and think about ways we can collaborate. So I think people that relate to those other areas are going to be so much more connected to you than if you were just like the B2B guy. If I can be the B2B basketball guy or the B2B guy who plays basketball, that's I'm giving more to my audience versus just the B2B guy.
Yeah, I mean that's also going niche, just using real life examples.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I just remember the situation. Like from time to time, I like to like dance it out when I'm stressed, or something like that, and I share that video also LinkedIn,
right?
Because this is who I am.
Exactly.
You know, and I want clients that know that I'm a cheerful guy. I'm somebody that likes to celebrate wins, and that's not gonna fall down with every first failure or whatever. And because one of the things that we go after in Funky, it's that we go to get back marketing up where it belongs. So ethics, those kind of things, and call out the bullshit.
Yeah.
And I was doing that on Facebook. There's a e-commerce community of Serbia, and they did like educational course.
Yeah.
But they created a video. It's basically the same as introduction of the Dynasty, like the series.
Yeah.
But they looked in a video like somebody was holding a gun towards them and asking them to shoot it.
Right.
You know, and I just said it. Basically, it looks, you can do anything else. Just photos might be better than this. I mean, it looks like you don't want to do this education.
Right.
You know, and a guy who is like organizing one of the biggest conferences here in Serbia says like, oh, and you're calling them out like being unprofessional when you are like posting videos of you dancing. Basically, I said that's okay to have that perspective, but the difference here is I'm not pretending to be anything else.
Right.
That's just who I am.
Who you are.
That's just who I am.
I love that you said that. Another example of that, and I think personally, like the best content creators and personal brand people are music artists. I think that they understand that better than entrepreneurs and marketers by far. So one of my favorite artists is a guy called G-Eazy. He makes hip hop music. And like for the last 10 years, all the music that he put out has been like fast hip hop, talking about like going out to parties and like alcohol and drugs and like this bad boy type of style, right? And then over the last month, he completely switched it, and now he's doing like indie music. Like it's soft. He's singing. He never sang before, and he completely changed it. And everybody's like, "Why are you like changing your whole style?" And he was like, "Well, that's just me. Like I felt like putting that stuff
evolving.
And maybe I go back to the rap. Maybe I don't, but it's the content that I want to put out." And it was funny to me because I've seen the debate on Twitter, and I was like, "This is the perfect explanation of like, yes, you should focus on what you do. But if there's a day that you're like, okay, I don't want to be the B2B guy anymore. I want to be the D2C or like the guy that does SaaS, or I want to be a writer, or I want to be an artist." Then you just make the switch because it's who you are, and you should not let the audience shackle you into the persona that you've built. As long as you stay true to yourself.
I've done it. I mean, for 2 years I was in performance marketing, but I saw it that way. So I said, okay, I need to do something else because my nature tells me to go and do something else.
Exactly.
So basically that's it. And when it comes to the hip hop music and everything, we can add in some of the next calls also some things. I remember I wrote an article once. It's how Tupac actually changed the music industry.
Really?
Basically, because when he got out of the jail, he went out and he started recording like crazy.
Yeah.
So songs after songs after songs. And what are doing people now? Like going singles.
Right.
Single after single after single. It's just important that you are always there. You don't know which song is going to be a hit.
Yeah.
You know.
Next week you're on vacation, but like the week that you come back, we should talk about like how to get inspiration for content marketing from outside of the business world. So like music,
let's do it.
Athletes. I think that they're amazing. Like I was watching another guy is so I have a partnership with a guy in New York that does what we do, personal branding and content creation for artists that make music. And his team goes to like the studios and they record like the artist making the song, right? And like writing it and like talking to the producer and all that stuff. And then they put out that content, and the content often does better than the song. You know, like it just such great behind the scenes content, and it's kind of what Gary does, right? Like have a videographer and all that. So I think it makes a lot of sense to like get inspiration.
Also, my ex-boss, he was working with a folk artist from the country back in the days. He didn't want even to say that he worked with her. But at the time, like her husband is an architect, highly educated person and everything, and she gets where everything is going. So they did webinars where she was actually creating songs with the audience. So she was going like writing this down, singing this part. Should I use this or should I go with that? And they were going like crazy.
Right.
You know, because they were making songs with her, and the idea was at the end to do an online concert. It would be the first one in Serbia, but I don't know, something happened. They got sick or something like that, and it never happened.
Yeah, that's funny. So yeah, I'll write this down, and then in a couple of weeks we can touch on that. Awesome, brother. It was a good episode.
Yeah, it was cool. Talk to you in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Sounds good. All right.
Bye, man.
Take care. Have a great vacation, buddy.